expect sunshine, highs in the lower 80s. Afternoon hours in the IE area, there'll be sunshine, expect highs mid 80s. And for the afternoon, Coachella Valley, sunshine is in abundance, expect highs in the lower 90s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. We're checking out your chat and social media. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, as well as, let's see, where else are we at? Oh, yeah, Alexa. Don't forget that. And we got Jesse Sanchez. He follows all the headlines and all the news of the day. Jesse, what's going on?
Hello, hello. Good morning. Oh my God, I am loving this day. I don't know about you, but this rapid weather change, considering last week I just wanted to like pass out and just be like just accept death.
God, I told you it was going to
That's
last.
that,
Like,
that's how bad it was.
everybody was like, and I get it, man. Us Californians are way too like there are parts of the world where it's like that nonstop practically, you know. So, yeah, but I was watching actually something yesterday. I was checking it out with my mom, and it was all the like the weather that hit certain areas, and it was like that channel Fail, the Fail people like Fail Army. Do you know it? Do you ever follow
Oh,
it?
yes, yes, I know who you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they had one of weather, and these things were happening like out of the blue, and people have like cameras everywhere, right? Like everybody has like either a iPhone or something else, and some of them have dash cams, and some of the weather was like, are you kidding me? Like if you didn't have it, you wouldn't believe it, And there was like a huge hailstone that came at somebody's window. She was just recording it from inside, and then all of a sudden, it literally bounced off something and broke her glass, and I was like, it's one thing to see it rather than say it, but yeah. So some of the my point is this: we don't have that. I mean, we have like okay, at least we have AC. Although those that didn't have AC, and I will say this: in your area, it gets hotter than it does here, in LA. What was the top like number there? Which I don't think it's. I don't think we have another. Do we have another up after this, or is it pretty much down from here?
I have no idea, but I want to envision that it's gonna stay this way because I do not want the heat again. So, where I was, oh, looks like it's gonna be a comfortable 79, 80.
Oh, that's nice.
I am acceptable for that. I mean, in
Yeah.
Hemet, one time it reached like 115, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think it reached like 118, 119 in certain areas where you're at. And then with the fire there, that doesn't help, right? And then I saw like a building over in San Bernardino, which was really bad. So it all adds up. But, the cooling is here, yay, and I think we should appreciate as long as it's here, right? I did see some really bad, especially in Ukaipa, some mud going all over the place in August which has been making the news rounds. And I'm like, wow, you never really understand mud until it looks like, well, somebody likened it to quicksand. I liken it to diarrhea of the mouth that just pours out over the entire land, shutting down places, shutting down houses, shutting down businesses, shutting down cars, right? Like just bleh, but at least it's just mud, so that's the good news, right, Jess?
But I think I seen some video footage of that, and someone made a comment that, oh my god, like a giant is eating at Taco Bell and just got like rapid
Oh,
diarrhea because it just moves so quick, and you're just like, what?
it just poor Jay. Okay, all right. Anyway, all right. Oh, enough of that. Everyone's like, okay, that's just gross. We got to clean it up, Jess, because we got again Applebee's coming up at the next mark. Okay, so make sure to tune in. Make sure to mention KMET. 1490 AM always whenever checking out Applebee's, especially in Beaumont and Banning. Okay, so we appreciate that. All right, others. Let's see. We see some commenting. Keep the comments coming. A lot of things are happening. I know the situation over with, well, everybody's paying attention to the coffin that's actually happening as we speak right now. A lot of things happening there. I'm glad the grandkids came in. I'm talking about Queen Elizabeth, just who's got that little face like, what are you talking about, the coffin? Like,
I'm like, oh my god, coffin. Oh my god, is Dracula back? Okay.
yeah, well,
No, I heard she's being her coffin is like lead lined or something like that.
is it really?
Yes, it is.
That's pretty interesting. I wonder what it takes to make a lead. And why would you want it lead lined? Like that's heavy, man.
She's being put somewhere with the like royalty or something like that. I can't remember the details. All I remembered was the lead coffin. It looked like not even Superman can be able to get through it, with his little vision.
Right, right. Because you can't see through
and
that. Right,
and like the horror person in me is all like, "Oh my god, is she gonna come back? Is that why they sealed her away?"
right. That makes sense. Why not? Right. The Queen. Actually, that'd be an interesting movie, don't you think? Like, you already saw Winnie the Pooh horror. You might as well do the Queen. I'm the Queen. I'm coming back, Charles. Do the right thing. You know. Oh man, yeah. Look, here's the thing. A lot of people are posting about the new son who is taking reign, but I pay attention to the grandsons, right? Because Princess Diana, I think, was taken too soon. I have certain thing in my head which goes, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he did it. Somebody didn't want her alive, right? And I remember when it was first coming out, there's a lot of people going, I think it was the guy who was jealous, right? Prince Charles. So I wonder if they were going to open that up, right? Especially now. I would. I would be like, I want to see that. Because I look at the sons, and the sons, they love their ma. I look at this picture, for example, and I go, yep. And he made a certain, let's put it this way. It's kind of getting heat, which I don't know why it's getting heat. It's like, allow the guy to, but he's, he and his his father, and of course his brother, are all kind of like next as to what happens next because that's how it works in that area. It hasn't happened that way here because we don't anybody can run for office, but there it's very you are born into it, right? And so that's kind of like the lineage of the queen and the king and all the way back to back to the days that we know, like, where people had swords and, you know what I mean, Jess?
Here's an interesting fact. Did you know Queen Elizabeth was related to Vlad the Impaler? Boom, boom.
I didn't. Although I could see her be wanting to impale. Like, if she ever found out, I have a theory. Like, if people, just hear me out. I know some people don't agree with this, but whatever. I have a theory that if at some point, like, you did something when you're like, how people believe in angels and you're like, okay, maybe like, would you ask, okay, who killed my, right? Like, someone close to me, right? I would want to know, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm going to let that out. How can I let that out? Which angel do I need to speak to let that out? You know what I mean? Like if somebody killed you, Jess, it would hurt me to no end. And then like you would be on the whatever, right? Like somewhere. And then where would you be? Where do you think you'd be, Jess?
You know what? I have no idea. I have no idea what's on the other side. I always make jokes like we're just energy encased in a meat suit. So who knows where we go after?
All right, so you're like, okay, would you be like in like do you think you'd be like outer space-ish or because I talk to
Oh,
people that like come back when they're like had a near-death experience or they've been dead for some time and I have questions and some actually have answers and they don't want to be like what I mean? But if you get them early on, they'll tell you until people start to draw like a conclusion about it. But yeah, so I theorize, and I could be wrong, but it would be like, okay, would you right the wrong of something? There's investigators that are and they say of the paranormal, in the FBI and in certain branches of government that do investigation. There's even consultants. I watch a show which people go, no, that's not real. It is real. It's called The Mentalist. Go check it out, right? Simon Baker plays the character, which I think they need to do more shows. But anyway, there are people that have like an intuition, and they just know more than others would, right? Or Psych. You ever see Psych? Remember that, USA?
oh yes, I love that show so much.
Yeah, and he pretends to be a psychic just to get paid, right? Because he's very intuitive. He just whenever he sees things, he just so he pretends to be psychic just to put them off and then like use it against them. So it's kind of in that way a way of me saying, look, I think with the Queen, everybody has an intuition about who did it, and what I mean is Prince Di, which she would have been the Queen if she didn't die, right? Prince Princess Diana, right? So, and I guess she wanted to get out of that. She didn't like, she was very humble, right? Unlike, I think, what you're starting to see of the king, right, who was Prince Charles, right, the artist formerly known as Prince Charles. You're starting to see certain posts of him kind of like, you're like, shouldn't you be happier now, the king? But he's kind of like, oh, this stupid pen, or like, get this area away from me. Like he's motioning to his servants, like, like I don't want to touch this filthy pen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with that motion of like, get away from me. So I'm like, I don't know if he knows they have cameras everywhere and everybody's like taking, you know what I mean? Because all of his stuff is now front row and center. We never saw as much as we do now. And I think there's going to be more stuff going. Can you believe it? Right? The Queen, I think she was very mindful. So she knew what was getting out there. She knew. I think she loved TV. I think she was a fan of a lot of certain people. But anyway, it's a thing. I did hear, by the way, Putin was not invited to the funeral, which I was like, doesn't that go without saying? Like, the guy's bombing everyone. Seriously, it almost feels like back in the day. Did you ever see Anastasia?
Anastasia. Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, and then the guy comes in, right? The magician guy, right? Rasputin, right? Which actually has a lot of people that know about that. He was a lot of stuff. Anyway, then he comes in like cursing the whole fam. And speaking of which, wasn't there like a curse of a jewel or something that you read?
Oh yeah, that was for the jewel that's in the Queen of England's crown. It's called like the Koh-i-Noor diamond. It's got a really interesting history to it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. He doesn't have anybody locked up behind him, guys. That's his good friend, the little. You know what? And that little. Can you bring the little guy on, because he reminds me of like someone that would be in the castle, right? Look at that face. Just let's see the face. He'd be like, yes, I belong in the castle. See, he has that like little thing. It's just so cute. You need to get him like a little. What do they do in England? Because it's a Scottish Terrier, right?
Who, this dog right here, Mikey?
Yeah.
Mikey is a Schnauzer, mixed with a something else.
Okay, right. I get them all mixed up, whatever. So my point is this. He's just got that face like, yes. Right, the eyebrows. And he's got that Euro thing, right? So anyway, I think he should have his own film. Let's do social media chats. Ellie tuning in. We appreciate you. Says, good morning. Let's see. It says, hump day. Yay. I know, right? It's that Wednesday. Speaking of which, again, Applebee's will be here with us. Which, by the way, I'm going to do just a quick little plug about that. You guys are going to want to enjoy this because it is all about the fun, and I'm talking about the wings, all right? Everything with wings you can get at Applebee's, all right? All you can eat is there for $12.99, okay? Dining only, obviously. But you just keep it coming, right? And they keep serving. So you can try out different tastes with that. I think you can rotate them. I think they have honey mustard and a couple others that you could try out, barbecue. And then the good old other one that they have, which is more of the orangey one, which I like, which is this one. If you're tuning in on our social media, you can see that right there. So, again, it's metal approved, and you could definitely win. So we'll be talking about that again. All you have to mention is KMT 1490 AM, and then they'll take care of you. But we got to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll be talking to Bill Norby of Applebee's here in Beaumont and Banning. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff in spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 572-5500 or go online at hiebanning.com.
After the game, after school, after work, Applebee's is where you want to be to enjoy their bold, savory grilled steaks, salmon, or chicken. Applebee's is located where Beaumont meets Banning, just off 6th Street near Highland Springs Avenue. Applebee's started with the same philosophy they follow today. Focus on serving good food to good people in a neighborhood-style setting. Applebee's also offers car side to go when you order online. Applebee's in Beaumont, serving the Pass area. So fresh, so fast, make it Applebee's tonight.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your #1 source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, hdrinfo.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state? Did you miss sending out a prior year tax return? The IRS is out to collect now more than ever, and they'll use any means necessary. They legally can and will garnish your wages, take your money, and even seize your property. If you're behind on your taxes, call the Tax Relief Hotline right now at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000. You can legally get your tax debt under control and in many cases get the breathing room you need. Garnished wages, property seizures, bank levies can stop immediately, but you have to call. Many of our specialists are IRS enrolled agents. They know the system and how to make it work for you. Don't wait for the IRS to come down on you. Act now so you can get your tax debt under control. Call the Riverside office today for free info at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. With us right now from the Beaumont Banning area is our very good friend, Bill Norby, who has the hookup. Definitely a discount. Not sure about the additional discount because it seems that our local team is not really... well, let's talk to Bill about that. Bill, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Aaron, Jesse, and all those KMET listeners. I wish I had better news about the Rams. By now we all know that they lost last Thursday to the Buffalo Bills. But I have been able to give out some 10% KMET discounts over the last week, but I'm hoping to be able to double that up after Sunday. They'll have a much more winnable game against the Atlanta Falcons this coming Sunday, and you can come on down and watch the game in our lounge, and then as soon as they win, go ahead and say, give me my 20% KMET listeners, because we'll do that all week after the Rams win.
Okay, I appreciate that. I think I need to take Jesse out for some fun because we need to play some fun game because I got no one over here to play anything with me. But I will say this. Yeah, the LA Rams, and you look, the last game was one where, I mean, some people are like, they should have won. But, I mean, they had a hard game to go with, right? I mean, do you agree or disagree?
Oh, I absolutely agree. The Buffalo Bills are a big favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. They were 10-10 at halftime, and they just did not come out in the second half. And they gave up 21 unanswered points and ended up losing 31-10. But those Buffalo Bills are the real deal, and hopefully we will get to see them again in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. And if you want to go ahead and get tickets, make sure to get them early because they actually sell out. A lot of people are ready to go back to the way it was, I just say do so, but do so safely, right?
Yeah. This last game was at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This next one will be too. They're opening up their season with 2 straight home games, and I think you might be able to get a ticket for the Falcons. They're not quite as appealing of a team, but I'm sure it will sell out soon.
Yeah. I'm looking at some reports. It looks like, again, the Falcons are a team to beat. They actually, looks like they lost to the Saints. So, look, it's anyone's game. I will say, locally, we got, of course, our good friends over. And I know you guys have a difficult time because you're right in, like, the area of Beaumont and Banning. But I will say our very own I don't know if I should say this. I'm not going to mix it up. But one of the football teams. Do you guys have football teams that come in that are local?
Sure. We get the Beaumont Cougars and the Banning Broncos. We take care of both high schools, and those are the two high schools in our area. And I know they have a bit of a rivalry, and the two cities kind of have a rivalry going back many years. But we will take care of either one of them.
All right, cool. All right, we appreciate that. Okay, yeah, because we actually we don't have the Banning guys on. We have the Beaumont guys on. So I'm not gonna make you choose, but I will say this: Beaumont has actually won every game since. So I'm just saying it. I think it's a KMET vibe. Just saying.
Yes. I've heard you're the head coach. Usually you talk to him on Fridays. I will say Beaumont is a force to be reckoned with in football, and I can say girls softball, they're quite good too. And so, because I got a couple of daughters that go to Redlands East Valley, and it's always a tough matchup when we play Beaumont.
Yeah, we just got to get everyone and anyone to come in after the home game, right? Of either one, right? Banning and or Beaumont. We just have to have them come in. Like a bunch. Are you ready for a bunch to come in right after?
We usually know when the games are, and we do prepare for that, and we invite John down, and don't forget about your KMET discount.
Awesome. All right. Speaking of which, I'm always promoting because there's nothing better than a good wing with a good drink. Any recommendations? Sometimes I ask the waiter or the waitress, hey, what drink would you recommend? And you guys have a lot of things available, including even, I saw at one place, I'm not going to name them because they're competition, but they had a virgin drink it was a pina colada. But it was in a small glass. And okay, that's the virgin one. But if you get the one with alcohol, you get a bigger glass. I'm like, aren't you kind of dinging somebody that wants to be non-alcoholic? Do you have the ability to make a one virgin?
Sure. So anything that we do with our alcoholic drinks, we can make a virgin version of it, and we'll put it in the same glass. And you've mentioned wings. Of course, we have a limited time only promotion of all you can eat boneless wings for $12.99. You can start with our classic wing sauce, move over to some honey barbecue, keep going with some Asian chili sauce, and mix and match, and keep going till you get your fill. So that's the big, the wonderful deal right now. And don't forget, you got your Terramana tequila. Dwayne The Rock Johnson Stone Tequila is being poured at Applebee's. And we got a couple of margaritas, Blue Tiki Margarita and a Cyclone Swirl Margarita. Either one can be bought for $7. Pretty good deal.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It looks pretty delicious. And I will say, it's always a thing, especially, well, now it's kind of cooled down, but it's still fun, especially if the game's on, or you want to talk biz, or you just want to have maybe you have a date or someone, maybe it's an anniversary. It's something to check out. I will say this, though, and I guess my question is very simple. Bill, I recently had, back to something I mentioned was, they work better, but in my head right now, I'm choosing Applebee's. I had a steak, I'm not going to lie, and it was a steak that I was this is not the steak I ordered, but what options do you have for steak there, including fish?
Including fish, you said?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a 6-ounce steak, an 8-ounce steak, and then a 12-ounce ribeye. And then we have our salmon, as far as fish goes. And then we have a hand-battered fried fish and chips also. But the black and Cajun salmon is our most, our main fish entree, and people do love it. You can get the steak, the 6 ounce and the 8 ounce on our two-per menu. It kind of ups the price a little bit, but you can get 2 for $35 and get yourself a couple of 8 ounce steaks and an appetizer, and that's to fill up 2 people on a date night. I can guarantee you that.
All right, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna enjoy. I know Jess is already kind of salivating. Jess, any questions on the menu?
Oh my God. Well, what time do you guys open?
11 a.m. to 12 midnight every single day of the week.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll stop by after the game on Friday.
I sure hope to see you. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll make my trip out there. It's a while to get out there. Oh, by the way, how's the fam? Because I know the fires are out there. I know the storm is out there. There are certain places like, difficult to, get through. There are mudslides out there, and it's all in the news now lately, like Ukaipa.
Yeah, we haven't been affected. People are able to get to us pretty easily. We've been serving a lot of firefighters out of the Hammett fire, and we're just really, our best wishes are trying to those guys can get that thing put out.
No,
I put turning the corner on that.
Yeah, every fire. I mean, do they eat a lot? I would imagine they do, because they got to get their energy up, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And they absolutely, the Cal Fire and the different agencies, they all make sure to feed their firefighters, and because they need to keep their energy up. They sometimes are out there for very long times fighting those fires, and so I'm very appreciative that they do that job.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. If you ever have a fire, you got to have a fireman on. Do you ever go are they going to ask us? Because I know you guys are very compliant with all your code and stuff, right?
They as far as the firefighters, the agencies kind of take care of that. The different agencies, but sometimes they'll come in large groups, and sometimes it'll be just a couple at a time, but and then some, in better times, of course, and I don't want business because of this. I'd really rather they put them out and we can get those firefighters coming in civilian clothes.
Yeah. I can see the ladies there be especially if they're secretly oh, when are the firemen coming? So I say, hey, have fun at Applebee's. You never know who you'll meet. All right, Bill, thank you for spending time with us here on the morning show.
Absolutely. Talk to you next week, and go Rams.
That's right. Go Rams. We need a win. And you get 20% if they win, even better. But if you just mention KMET 1490 AM, you go in, you get 10%. Right off the bat. Again, make sure. Sometimes they have specials that it doesn't apply to because they're so good. They're that good. So, but you definitely get the boneless wings. You get maybe something for your friend or someone you take. Shoot, even your mom or your pa. Take them and spend some time with them. Right? They need some fun. All right, people. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back right after these messages.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com. Summer in the Inland Empire. You know what that means. Sunny days and hot temperatures that make you want to stay inside. Franklin Mechanical Systems can repair or replace your air conditioning unit to get it working cool before the heat hits. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000 and get cool today.
Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. We got Jesse over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, and now I am hungry. God, I wish they opened earlier.
Yeah, right. I know, and I need to treat you because we got to have some fun. We got to find out who does magic in the area because I know magic is coming to Las Vegas soon, and they got special discount. They have a virtual as well. Speaking of which, I think I'm supposed to attend a couple of things in the next coming weeks, so I'll be posting that as well. Make sure to follow at Aaron Michael Sanchez on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and on what's the other one I use? Oh, YouTube. That's right. We're always on YouTube. So check it out. Just the morning show with Aaron Michael Sanchez. Of course, Jesse always joins us every single morning, and yeah. Oh, I see this, Jess. I'm just gonna kind of say this real quick. There is now some news now that we've kind of leveled off on certain information about monkeypox, which I think they're kind of holding to that, saying monkeypox and not renaming it for whatever reason they wanted to rename it, which is good. But there it is in all its glory on a person's hand, which is never a good thing because if they're on the hand and they touch something or they shake your hand or they touch something, guess what? You got the pox, right? But according to this, some of the numbers, here's the headline. White men initially suffered the highest number of monkeypox cases in the U.S., but now it says not anymore. That's a weird headline, right, Jess?
Just a bit. Let's see where this is going.
Yeah, they're saying, well, let's see. The number are going up because it's growing, and vaccines just are not keeping up with the demand. That's number one. It says at the beginning, which was declared in May, was it May, really? I didn't know it was in May. I would say June or July. Anyway, it says the vast amount of people were majority white. Yeah. They say that slowly dropped over the course of the outbreak and now sits at around 25%, according to the Centers for Disease Control. It says the percentage of I get it. So it's a thing that they're saying, okay, white, black, Latino, and they're trying to go segment, right, of certain, so they're saying now more men of other are getting sick with it. Well, that makes sense. I mean, that's the way disease works. It doesn't really differentiate between now I see some reports that usually say, okay, in certain communities it's higher than this or that or the other, but usually they don't mean sometimes certain diseases do get among certain ones, but it also depends on a lot of factors. And sometimes they go, okay, this community is underserved, this community is underserved, this community is underserved. But if you go to a rave or anything where a bunch of people are infected, it really doesn't differentiate between who you are, right? So, but I think it's funny that it says white men, right? Because white men never, they never get sick. So, we never hear about it, right? So I think it's funny that they actually got it first, but whatever. So there you go. That's what it's saying. It says ones that are more frequently diagnosed with monkeypox. They say, well, let me see. I don't know if this is the right news to say. This is interesting. I didn't even think about this. It says, this is a report. This is written by a guy. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. It's Fortune magazine. Okay. I'm kind of like on the fence of saying this because then someone will say I said it. I'm saying no. I'm quoting somebody who said it. Well, let me go to something that he said about. It's kind of one of those things where it's like it might make me sound bad, Jess, if I say it. Does that make sense?
No, but now you got to say it because you keep teasing us, right, everyone? I want to know. What did he say?
Okay, this guy says it. I don't say it. He says black individuals are now more frequently diagnosed with monkeypox than any other racial or ethnic group in the U.S. That's according to CDC data. So he's quoting CDC data. He's like, it's not me, it's CDC. White individuals are taking the lion's share of vaccines. For every 4 white people who have been vaccinated, only one person. Okay. They use. Well, I usually say okay, whatever. It says one black person has, according to CDC data. Okay, they're saying this, not me. This is Fortune magazine. Just so you know, a lot of white people read that. Okay. Now, having said that, that's interesting. And you know what? That's not wrong because usually some people have the hookup and others don't, right? Now, if you have a nurse as a friend, you have the hookup, right? But if you don't have a nurse as a friend, then, you know, you're just not going to have fun with that. So, it's interesting, though. It's interesting. I wonder what that means. Yeah. Leo Parker, the Director of Prevention Programs for the National Coalition of STD Directors, said to the magazine, we've seen this quite often in regards to other diseases. Oh, I didn't know that. Most recently with COVID, where African Americans began to be disproportionately impacted. Oh, that's interesting, huh? Says it's mostly the same thing with monkeypox. Yikes. Oh, Jess, seriously, would you want to shake anybody's hand that said, hey, shake my hand with monkeypox like that? Would you? Come on, would you, Jess? Come on, Jess, would you? Come on.
Yeah, let's, oh my God. Why would you show me that picture? Oh my God.
Because that's what you want to be aware of. You see that, you say, no, get away from me, okay? You have a right to say that, Jess. You don't want it because then it stays with you. And then it gets all over your face. It gets over, like anywhere where do you itch most, Jess?
Well, right now my arms are itching because I'm looking at this picture. But you know what? I always look at the hand before I shake. But I don't shake hands too often, so it doesn't come up.
I wouldn't shake hands at all right now, man. It's still here. We don't have the cure right now, Jess.
I know it's been a while since I've shaken somebody's hand, so usually I just do like elbow bump or I don't know. Who knows?
I think it's interesting because they recently said something about. Oh man, I'm seeing something else. All right, let me get. There's so many things in my head right now. Okay, let me go to social media chat. I need to like break it up. Okay, Judy. Let's see. We'll go back to the top. Let's see. Stephanie, thank you for tuning in. Elizabeth, thank you for tuning in. Mark, thank you for tuning in. Renee, thank you. Let's see. Mark says, "Good morning. Care for tea." Not with that guy's hand. No way, Jose, man. I don't want that. No, you can no. If you serve me tea with this guy's hand, I guarantee I'm gonna get it. Okay, I do not want anything this guy touches. Imagine if he goes to Target or Walmart. I recently went to Target. Not gonna lie, Jess. Now I'm one. Oh man, Jess. What if? What if somebody's like a worker and they go like, you know what I mean?
Well, I would hope they would take better judgment and not go to work. Oh my God, why do you keep putting these thoughts in my head?
You're welcome, because they need to be there. You need to stay safe, man. If you get pox, I don't want to be around you. I'm not taking you to Applebee's or anywhere. Judy says, good morning. Let's see. Thank you, Judy. She's tuning in. She says, wishing my beautiful middle daughter, Amy. She has so many, like, little, okay. A very happy 37, oh, it's a special day. You know what? Yay. Whenever you go around the sun once, that's one whole cycle of, right? That's what we count. All right. I count every day, whatever. It says, I am with her right now. Aw, well, we appreciate Amy, and we say another trip around the sun would be great, right? And let us not be hurled into the... Did you know that somebody posted this recently, Jesse? And I never thought about it. You know how we kind of take for granted our like, spherical way around the sun?
Okay. I'm afraid this is where it's going, but okay.
Well, there was a report that there's a possible like event supposed to happen, and it might send shockwaves or ripples throughout all of us at some point when they collide.
What do you mean?
could it throw us off the path of the spherical thing that we're on with gravity? Because we're basically like, if you ever think like in water, like things swirl around, right? But if you have like a ripple tidal wave, will it kind of take you off course? What if we went away from the sun instead of to the sun?
Ooh, yeah, we'd probably end up freezing, but it'd be interesting. Although I hope I would not be alive during that time period.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Anyway, there's some weird stuff that they're looking at in outer space. I get with the telescope that Jess is so happy about, and I am too, because we can kind of. But there's some things you just can't prevent. So it's like, well, all right, but we're not there yet. At least we're alive. That's a good thing. Sandra Hahn tuning. Oh, Sandra, we love you. She's in Whittier again. Crepes and Grapes. Go check it out. Sandra, you ever need some good stuff to talk about? Definitely let us know. Judy says hello from Washington, also tuning in. Thank you. Eugenia, thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So, and Judy says on the way to Dutch Brothers for her. Okay, so you're celebrating everybody's like day. I got it. Okay, for coffee. You know what? Take them to Applebee's and tell them you mentioned us. Even if they don't know it, just say, look, I see you right there. They'll be like, it doesn't apply. I'm like, whatever. Get us out there, okay? Let Applebee's corporate know, because we need some promo here. Jesse's like, you know what? I want some good specials. So there you go. Anyway, look, these things are a thing. I did see a report recently that I think people need to understand. Talk to New York, and then you have an understanding of what's happening here in the state coming, okay? They have a declaration of emergency for polio, right? Because it's a thing. Now, how long until it gets here, right? I mean, you got monkeypox, you got polio, you got small, you got coronavirus is like taking a backseat. But remember, it's still here, and vaccinations are coming, by the way. So I would say, get in line for that, because I'm pretty sure these ones will go a little quicker than normal. I hope, because you want people vaccinated. I never said that before, but 3, 4, and 5 are really bad. So, here's the point, okay? If you ever hear somebody on dialysis or kidney disease or their liver is failing, it was on 3, 4, or 5. Okay, sometimes even 1 mixed in with, I think it's 3. I can't remember. I talked to a biologist, and he was like, yeah, a lot of people aren't going to understand. It's all kind of like correlating to coronavirus. They don't understand. It's kind of like if you never got coronavirus, you wouldn't have kidney disease anymore. So if you trace it back, anyone that's like had problems with their kidney and they go get like, what is wrong with me? If you lose like a lot of weight all of a sudden, right? Or you feel really lethargic, or you feel like I have no energy, or all of a sudden, right? You could usually trace it back to all right? That's why I say get tested, and then even if you get well from it, a lot of people do get well, but then they drink a little, it acts like you drank a lot, like you had cirrhosis of the liver. I talked to a nurse recently that talked about that. She said, yeah, that happens. I said, yeah, that's the problem. So they're not getting the information out about this. They're getting information out about like certain side effects of certain vaccinations. But I say I would not. Now, here's the thing. I never drank alcohol like partiers do, right? But if you drink even a little, like maybe for a good year and a half, right? Like every weekend, right? Not consistent, not like every single night. But you were like, and there's a lot of women that I know that party every single weekend, right? And you see them on social media, hey, you know what I mean? Some break free of it, some go whatever. But the point is, a normal person who engages in that doesn't really have cirrhosis of the liver. Usually you have to be like a good 3 to so many years of constant drinking, like every other day. That's what creates cirrhosis of the liver, if you didn't know. But when you get coronavirus, even a little, it basically makes it look like you're a drunk, but you're not. So it really does the inside of your body really bad. And I talked about this a few months back. I said a lot of people aren't going to understand this, but we're here. Okay, so if you ever see someone and they say, oh yeah, they're sick or they're on dialysis, okay, and I recently found out a friend is currently on dialysis, but he had about a month and a half ago, and he's like, no, I'm fine. He's fine, but his inside not fine, right? There's other factors, but I'm just saying, look out for your fam, look out for your parents, look out for people if they say they have problems with their kidney and or liver. Okay, make sure they do a blood work panel on that, and then usually trace it back to and then you'll know a little, because they need to get more information out about cases that are related. If they don't, then everybody thinks, oh, it's all right, I have, and then they may get sick. But again, like I said, don't like, Jess, you don't have that problem because you don't even drink alcohol, right? But if you like were like someone that and you drink it for like, I don't know, a good anywhere from a year to year and a half, every other weekend maybe, or every weekend, you're going to have a problem eventually. And that's what I've seen with someone that happened at the beginning of the year, of this year, 2022. He had to bury her. But she honestly was 20 in late 20s, but you would think she was an 80-year-old or a 60-year-old who had drink habitually. So it's really bad. So don't get okay? I think it was her second time getting by the way. So again, we're not ahead of that, but we are ahead, I think, of pox, because I think they'll have the vaccination ready to go in the next, we'll see. But anyway, be careful out there, all right? We're going to take a quick little break. As Mark says, I got my COVID vaccination this week. Good job. Yay, says hashtag yay me. I've seen some people post that. If it's in your area, go check it out. Okay, I did see somebody post, they said, hey, I'm not going to risk anything, and that's smart. So do that, all right, people? We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Join West Coast Business Review with Daryl McCants each Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock p.m. Daryl focuses on successful businesses from California's southern border to Canada, including the great border states of Arizona and Nevada. Every week, Daryl provides in-depth discussions and interviews with prominent leaders and innovators that make all of our lives better and more productive. West Coast Business Review with Daryl McCants, Wednesdays at 4 o'clock p.m. right here on Smart Talk Radio.
Tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing, envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor, go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
You're running out of letterhead. What do? Lithopass Printing. You need business cards. Now what? Lithopass Printing. Invitations to a wedding? Lithopass Printing and Banning is the answer. Lithopass Printing can provide banners, signs, and blueprints. Think of Lithopass Printing and Banning for quality graduation, birthday party, and baby shower invitations. Lithopass Printing also provides lamination, faxing, and photo prints. If you need it inked, make it Lithopass Printing. Lithopass Printing and Banning. For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, Truckworks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, Truckworks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at Truckworks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam-encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam-encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hemet, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now.
Welcome back, as it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I want to share this really quick. It's a good heartfelt one. I love these heartfelt ones that happen. And this dog was reunited after a long 10 months of not knowing where he was, evidently. It says a dog who went missing 10 months was reunited with his family in Highlands County, Florida, according to the Highlands County Sheriff's Office. There was footage which was posted on Facebook. It shows his name Conway. hurrying to his family as they kneel down to greet him. Reads with the caption, "We are not responsible for any tears shed while watching this video." You gotta find it. We'll see if we can repost it later. Follow us at KMET 1490 AM on Facebook and on Twitter, KMET Radio. We're right there for you guys to check out. But that was the little pic there. The sheriff's office said Animal Services could fine the family because the dog had a microchip, and urged pet owners to microchip your pets. I'm not sure where he was in the middle, but he probably needs a shot. That's for sure. But he's just so cute. Jess, don't let the dog get. Is your dog microchipped?
Yes, I believe he is microchipped.
He's
All
like,
the dogs
dude.
have a-
He's like, dude, microchip me because you never know, right? All it takes is a little thunder, a little lightning, and all of a sudden, bye-bye, right? So, or someone could steal it, that type of dog, just he has that face like, if they do, I'm going to cut them. I know, I can tell. But there you go. All right, Jess, I know you got a story over there. What's going on?
Oh, I have one story, and it's kind of crazy, but I'm glad she's suing. So apparently she's suing San Francisco. And so she's a rape victim whose DNA from her sexual assault case was used by the San Francisco police to arrest her in an unrelated property crime on Monday.
Wait, whoa, hold up. That was a lot of information. Wait, so her DNA was, what?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So she was a rape victim, okay? So she had a sexual assault case. They took her DNA for whatever, for rape kits, whatever.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, you got to do that, by the way. That's that. If you ever get, and I'll say this, or of someone who does, make sure they go get a test right away. Right away. Have they go to the hospital, have them report as a rape, they'll call in the cops, and then they'll take care of the rest. All right, go ahead.
So her DNA was collected and stored in the system as part of a 2016 domestic violence and sexual assault case. And apparently, during a search on the San Francisco Police Department Crime Lab database, the woman's DNA was tied to a burglary in late 2021. Wow, that's a little bit overreach for the government, right?
Wait, so she partook in the burglary of that one, and they had it in the database of that? Or was it an error? Because why would she sue them?
Because you're not supposed to use like the victim's DNA for stuff like this, I guess. I don't really know the laws, but federal law already prohibits the inclusion of victims' DNA in the National Combined DNA Index system. So it's pretty much they were looking through victim DNA and stuff. But apparently she did a robbery. But
and she's suing.
Yeah, because they accessed her DNA illegally.
But does she get locked up? I got so many questions. We're out of time. Send me the article. I want to see that. But there you go. I don't know where to take that. I get she's a victim. I get that. But if she perpetrated a crime and they caught her, it's kind of like, well, don't do a crime, right? So one doesn't make the other less. It just, I don't know how I feel about this. Anyway, make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Evidently, don't give your DNA over just to anyone. Don't commit crime, people. All right, and we are still here with you. Our radio audience is, well, you can go check it out, KMET 1490 AM. Got a lot of great programming all day long. Again, mention KMET 1490 AM at your Applebee's in Beaumont and Benning. That's the one we support. Again, if we got National Imagine, we could support. Oh yeah, that's right. Because we're not. Well, we kind of are everywhere when you think about it. I mean, we're online, we're on YouTube, we're everywhere. Anyway, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for spreading the word. We appreciate you. Judy tuning in says, "I'm at the DMV right now. I'm waiting in the car while Zach is testing for his driver's license." Hey, I hope he gets it. All right, because we need more. We need more. Let's put it this way: if there was ever an emergency, you would have Zach to take you, right? So there you go. It says, I will say to her to go to Applebee's. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Mark says, is our solar system shaped like a croissant for a jumbo shrimp? What? I have no idea. Oh, okay. He follows I love Popular Mechanics. They're really cool. Let's see. Algenia from Georgia says, yes, all must get a vaccination for polio. Well, I think she means polio-infected regions. Yes. Says everybody be safe and check on our elderly. Yes, absolutely. Norma tuning in. Thank you, Norma. And let's see. We also got a few others. So look, here's the thing, people. there's a lot of things happening in the world, and you gotta be careful. Okay, so I saw a report recently about like, all right, let's put it this way: monkeypox, did it originate in a country? The answer, that depends. Were they able to stamp it out? That depends. Okay, there are certain people that want to get like all right, and there's some people that don't. Okay, we all know that. There's certain risks that you have, inherent risk, and then there's an inherent risk of getting everyone infected. You don't want to get everyone infected, okay? So there's certain disease that you go, you know what, just give it to me, okay? You want to follow that if you have like pre-existing condition, or if you're like very sensitive to certain medication or certain like things that like you're the first person like, wheezing or something, because some people are just very prone to things. So I would say be careful, right? Whenever they have certain like tests, they usually ask, do you have an allergy to anything? If you have an allergy to some things, then that's a problem, because that means your body's very sensitive to certain things. Whereas other people are like, no, I don't have an allergy, right? Like peanut allergy. Someone that has a peanut allergy, you actually want to know what else they're allergic to, just in case, because there's certain derivatives of certain things that can cause an allergy reaction, right? So you got to be careful. But if you don't have an allergy reaction to a lot of things, usually when it comes to certain things that you introduce to your body, usually you're more better than not. But when it comes to pox, right, you don't want pox. Pox can be a deadly thing eventually. They've already have some reports. Some are like, I thought it just caused a lot of itchiness and a lot of scarring. Yes, it does that too, but it also creates a problem in your body long term. We said this, right? So I talked to a biologist, and the biologist said, look, a lot of people aren't going to understand this. And he gave me a lot of info. And then I talked to a lady, and she gave me a lot of info. And then I talked to another guy, and he gave me a lot of info. And then if you put it all together, you kind of go, there it is. So I will say the next few days I may, have some information out. And I probably will do it not on air, because a lot of it is like, yeah, but. So I don't want anybody coming at me. But there's certain people on, and sometimes you find them. There's some good info out there, and then there's some bad info, right? But I don't out anyone who tells me certain things, so I'm very private, right? And recently I had somebody hit me up on Facebook. They kind of came at me in a weird way, like, why are you not responding to me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, in essence, I want to tell them, I don't know who you are, right? A lot of people find me on Facebook and or like, any of the social media programs, and they're kind of very like, why aren't you responding? I'm like, don't really know who you are, right? So anyway, my point is this. Some of you, I know who you are because you consistently watch. So I appreciate you. You're different than the majority. But sometimes I don't have time to get, to all my stuff. And I know we have like a thing that we got to do in the next few weeks, which I'll probably be promoting if we do it. But that's here in the San Bernardino area. And everyone that knows me knows I usually do an event every single year. But we didn't do it last year, and we didn't do it the year prior in 2020 because coronavirus started, right? And I remember saying to certain people, I said, look, there's certain things that we're getting, behind, that you guys don't know. And they're like, it's just like the flu. And I said, no, it's a little bit more severe than that, guys. And then the very next few days, boom, they were in lockdown. So sometimes we have information that I say to some people, and I'm like, do you remember what I tell you? Like, there's a reason I say these things. It's called a warning. Because so far when it comes to coronavirus, I've been right. The war thing in 2020, I wasn't 100% right on, but they kind of backed off. That was when they were having the line between India and China. But now, look, they're back in the news again, right? China, Russia, India, Korea. And by the way, Korea is invited to the Queen's funeral. Isn't that weird? Right? I know it's weird. But she knew everyone, right? She's well known. Right. So anyway, but look, the point is this. Maybe they should meet and be like, although I don't know if Charles would want war or peace. I think the Queen would be like, can we get along? Because she knows what it was like in World War. Well, right. She goes back. Right. If she were alive today, she'd be like, do you mind? I'm not that old. But the point is this. She knows what it's like to be in war, right? And she doesn't want it, okay? So I think if she had she should have done like a little reunion thing, before she died. You know how some people do that before they die? She should have had that. And then she probably would have said, Kim, do the right thing, right? Because you respect her, right? You kind of bow to her, or you do a little, if you're a woman, curtsy, right? You got to learn the curtsy. But anyway, the point is this. Are they meeting together to wage war is my point. Like, what's going on there? Yeah, so it's kind of like the fam of a mob that all meet because someone died, but they're ready to take over the country, right? Or take over the area, which, okay, you're no longer in power, okay, and then, like a few days later, there's a hit, right? So that's what I'm wondering, like, what's going on there? And you're dealing with people's lives, right? The mob do a little, not a lot, when it comes to that. But anyway, there's a lot of things going on there. Yeah. So, all right, people. Let's see what else. Other than that, I will say, just keep it safe, keep it good, keep it wonderful, and just remember, there are things that are happening in the next, few anywhere from days to weeks, to be honest, when it comes to the virus. Okay, so here's a thing that I can say really quick. Okay, I know some of you are still tuning in. We appreciate you. And here it is. And I like what a genius says. Just do the necessary research. Leave nothing to chance. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I had a conversation. All right, it was very. Let me put it this way. Someone said, "Look, the numbers are down," and I said, "Yeah, but the numbers are up. You just don't know it yet." And they said, "What?" I said, well, I had a conversation with someone else, and the conversation was, in essence, people are not getting tested the way they were tested in 2020, right? In 2020, you went up or said, okay, I need to get tested, and you went and they got you tested, right? Drive-through and all those things. Those go into a database. That database says, okay, we have a problem. Now, with at-home tests, and with some people just going, okay, I feel sick-ish, a lot of people are getting tested, so it's not being reported and or recorded. Therefore, the numbers are off already. Now, when it comes to monkeypox, okay, the only time you really go get tested is A, if you know about it, or B, if you start going, what is that, right? But if you think like, oh, it's like if you get cold sores, right? You would think, oh, it's a cold sore. I don't know what that bump is, and then it kind of flares up, and then that, you don't know, right? Now, the news has been pretty good about reporting it, but if you don't know and you see it, you should say, hey, that might be monkeypox. Go get tested, right? So the ones that get tested are getting information, but it's a delay. And people are going to say, why such a delay? Because they're not paying attention to, well, here's what I blame. I blame the CDC. The CDC has, since 2020, given a lot of backwards information, kind of like Trump did, right? I know I use the big T word, and it has nothing to do with politics. But it gave a lot of like, okay, one day we do this, one day we don't. One day we do this, one day we don't. One day we do this, one day we don't, right? Did he get tested a lot? He did. Did he say, in theory, like hypochloric, I can never say that, a chloroquine or whatever is the cure? In essence, he did. But is it? No, right? It is a treatment. Some are using it. I say don't use it. Use other things that are more efficient. And they're getting the science out there. So I will say this. Make sure you know, especially if you're hospitalized or a friend that you know is hospitalized, that you know which virus strain it is. You need to know that. They're not all the same. And when doctors and people that are professionals understand that, they understand, okay, we treat this one different. Like, I'll give you an example, hepatitis. If you have hepatitis A, B, or C, and you have a problem in the hospital, A, they want to know which hepatitis you have, because although it's hepatitis banner name, each one is different, okay? And some are more severe than others, kind of like cancer. Cancer is, depending on the location of cancer, different, right? But they kind of generalize it with stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, right? And stage 4 is usually the worst one, right? Usually that one you go, okay, if you're stage 4, you may die. Now, have people been able to be, able to like, have their body kind of heal up from that? Answer, yes. I know a few that actually have done that. But you need to know which one you're dealing with. So back to like, when they do blood, sometimes they don't tell you what is in your chart, right? But always get a copy. You have that right, okay? Always get a copy of your chart, because you have the right to say, I want another opinion. A lot of people are not getting an opinion, and what I'm finding is a lot of doctors are kind of dumb, okay? And they're kind of just repeating what they hear, but they're not doing the investigation. Back to something you say, Eugenia, research. They're not researchers on this, right? They're not chemists. They're not biologists. They're not people who are in the lab going, okay, this is different from this and this is different from this. And honestly, they're depending on the Centers for Disease Control to give them the info when they have the most backwards stuff that they say, right? At the beginning of 2020, it was like, don't wear masks. Then it was like, wear masks. Then it was like, don't wear a lot of masks. Like we need it for our nurses. And now we have a shortage of masks. And now, and then they were in the 14-day area of quarantine, and then all of a sudden in 2021 later part, because everybody was complaining about money not being there, they're like, we need short time, we need them to go back to work, right? That was the essence of what they said. It's almost like they're the arm of the U.S. that says, look guys, we want to make money, okay, stop promoting that people should not die from this, right? In essence, that's what they were saying. So in the late 2021, all of a sudden it came from 14, okay, we can do 5. With what science, people? It stays in the body for a certain amount of time, right? Now, if you get the flu stays anywhere from a week to a week and a half. But usually in the first few days, depending on what flu you will get, well, eventually. But some people die from the flu. A lot of people don't know that. All right, but if you look at world news and you look at like certain people that are prone to it, if you're an older person, which is why they would say get your flu vaccine if you're like over a certain age, because they're more at risk. If you have diabetes, a lot of you have diabetes. Some of you know it, some of you don't. You already are at risk, okay? Because there's a thing that happens in the body. Like if you get bit by an animal, right? A normal person that doesn't have diabetes, no problem, okay? They'll heal up. Somebody with diabetes may take months to heal up. I know that happened to my mom. And she has diabetes. Sometimes she's on borderline because she's been dealing with her sugar, her blood sugar, but we haven't tested that. But if you get under a certain number, then you're all of a sudden not diabetic. But could you be prone to diabetes? Yes. Right? So you want to kind of get that sugar down, right, when it comes to blood sugar. But she's very, very good about that. And she's lost a lot of weight since then. But when she got bit by the cat didn't know, just like, you know, and sometimes they do that, right? She was mad at the cat. But then she had to go to the hospital and get a shot because they're like, oh no, right? It ended up really bad on her leg. Now, she forgave the cat, you know, whatever. But it wasn't the cat's fault. It wasn't like it was a dirty cat. The cat had a shot, but it just had, you know, a little bacteria on its teeth, which is what, you know, animals do, right? They have that. Even if you brush them like regularly, they still have bacteria, right? That's why I say don't let them lick a wound, right? Especially if you're diabetic. So if you're diabetic, or if you have any form of let's put it this way. Be careful, okay? Especially when it comes to flu. Now, flu is not being reported right now, but how will you know if it's flu? And I talked about this in 2020. How will you know if it's flu, cold, and or coronavirus? Any one of them, right? Now, you don't hear about alpha, but that was in the early beginning of 2020, okay? Some theorize it happened in 2019 in November, right? Because there were some reports that we were kind of delayed on because we just thought it was the China virus, right? Remember that? The Wuhan virus, right? But some think it was actually already here in November of 2019. So the point is this, guys. Be aware these things are something that I wish a lot of biologists and chemists would get in the same room with the president and say, okay, we're not ahead of this. Now, my mom, she was talking to somebody on the phone, and this was a really good person in Texas, okay? And I know some of you think, oh, Texas, they don't care. They do, okay? Texas is seeing something that they're wondering what is going on, all right? Now, this person, a pharmacist, very smart pharmacist, right? Always hands out medication, blah, blah, blah. She had a statement I thought was very interesting, so I'm going to share it. She said this. She says, it's almost like people think it's not a thing anymore. So don't get that in your head. It's still a thing. Now, are people like, yay? Are they like, oh, you know, like yes, is the vaccination there for us for 4 and 5? Yes, but there's still more mutations happening or variants that you keep hearing. And that's 6, 7, and 8, which are really bad, by the way. Okay, and that's what India is dealing with, and that's what China is dealing with right now, which is why they're in lockdown again. Okay, they're really trying to stamp it out. And the only way to stamp it out is to have a quarantine for at least a good 3 weeks, to be honest. When we did it in 2020, we did right, but then we went right back to it, I think after the second week, because Easter was around the corner. And the president's like, I'm not going down for that, right? So that's what happened, all right? But if they would have done a good, solid 3 week, they would have stamped it out, and then they would have done certain areas, which is very difficult to do, because people complain, people get upset. But if you remember in 2020, we were very good about it at the very beginning. Then it was like, is it a thing? And then you had a lot of news articles, a lot of YouTubers going, it's not a thing, right? And then it became, is it a political thing? Well, it's always a political thing right before somebody gets voted, right? And Trump was like, look, you know, and he was hee-hawing like the rest of them. But did he get coronavirus? Remember, he did. Did he get well from it? He did. You know, and does he have perhaps some other problem in his body, like, you know, blood sugar off? I don't know. But that was more alpha and beta. Okay, you don't hear about that anymore. But alpha and beta, well, and you know what? At the time they didn't have the way to say it. Meaning, okay, we're going to use like Greek words to say what is out there, right? So we didn't have any of that. Now it's kind of commonplace. I would have said they would have done better with like coronavirus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Or COVID-19 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, or ABCDE, right? We would have done better with that, but you know, we're basically at the level of like G right now. You don't want G. And you don't want like 8, right? Or 9 or 10 or 11, 12, right? If you get it? So that's my point. So be careful And then just be aware we could be ahead of it, but get the vaccination that's coming out, okay? Because better safe than sorry on that. Because even if you have a reaction, and make sure, you keep your, wherever you go, sometimes they go, okay, if you have an allergy of this, that, or that, or if you're prone to this, that, and that, then, we want to monitor. And then you monitor. Sometimes it's a rash, sometimes it's hives, sometimes it's a quick reaction. A lot of people got that with Moderna, right? And there's some news coming out about that, by the way, which you're not going to like. But remember, if you got Moderna, just be aware of it. Okay, and I said this in 2020. I said be careful, but people don't want to listen. And again, sometimes people don't know why I say these things, but it's because I talk to a lot of smart people, and I don't say who it is because they're like, we don't want to go out there yet, right? Because then they're kind of held liable for certain things. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, you got to make sense to the people because they're not making sense. So there you go. All right. So that's pretty much it. Just remember, get the vaccine, and remember, a vaccine is only good anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Okay, if you are an athlete, anywhere from 3 to 4 months, because your metabolism is so quick. All right, people, make it a great day. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye, everyone.